You need something to drink?
He left with my phone. Where did he take that?
Well, we've got a search warrant for your phone. That phone's gonna be ours for a while. Because the calls, every call you've made probably in the past year, we're gonna have to look at.
Okay.
Your text message, everything. So we've got a search warrant for your phone. Okay.
Okay. I'm telling you everything I know.
The wild part about this always is like, did you watch the latest JCS?
I think so.
Like the one where the woman was like so annoying all the way to the end, and she's like, "All right, well, time to go home now." And they're like, "No, you're going to jail."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just entitlement.
Oh,
like,
the suitcase video.
Yeah, the suitcase lady. Like the sense of entitlement goes bananas mode for some of these people, where they just literally think like, "I don't get it. Like, what do you mean? Can I get my phone back to make another order for food? My biscuit and gravies haven't come back." You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, no, lady, you're going to jail, dog. Like, no, they have a search warrant on your fucking phone. Like, you did a murder.
That white woman privilege right there.
I mean, it's just, it's a white lady debuff.
Entitled.
No, I'm repeating everything they've said.
Okay. Well, just go ahead and do you got your statement. We'll get back with you in, okay?
You can look at my record. I'm not somebody that gets into trouble.
Sit right there and told me the same story just like you're telling me. And, they tried to convince me. And in the end, when the evidence come in, they sat there and we knew all along they were lying. We knew all along the story was
Oh, shit. Oh, he's giving it up. He's giving the game up a little bit. He's flexing. Yeah. He's flexing. That's BM. That's BM. You haven't cooked her yet. He's doing like a Chekhov's gun. You know what I mean? He's like, yeah, a lot of times we always know that they're lying, but we listen to them nonetheless.
Detectives want suspects to think they know more than they actually do, or that they're about to find some crucial piece of evidence, leaving suspects panicking about how much police actually know. Investigators want suspects to feel the time pressure to confess, implying that it's in the suspect's best interest to do so before it's too late.
I will be the first person to come forward because I want it found.
So let me ask you something. How did you call for help if you was tied up?
I used my nose.
So they didn't take your phone in. They left your phone there.
They asked me if I had a phone, and I told them no. And they asked him,
so how'd you get to it?
I wiggled on my side.
Where was it? Where
I was on this side of the upstairs, and it was shoved up underneath the edge of the bed on this side of the upstairs.
Who did you call?
My mother was the first number on my call list. I just used my face. And
so instead of calling 911 for help, you called your mother?
How do you press 911 with your face?
Well, how did you dial your mother with your face?
I didn't dial my mother. I just pushed the first thing that was on there. It had just happened to be my mom.
Although Samantha may believe this is a reasonable explanation, you'll encounter another witness who will tell the sheriff's office that they observed Samantha with her phone simply laying on her lap in the aftermath of the attack. Next, the sheriff wants to hear about what's been going on in Samantha's personal life.
Well, now see, here's something else I don't understand. Maybe you can help explain to me. You talked about how much you love Ernie, right?
Mm-hmm.
But though you're talking to Brian, you're talking to Alan.
Oh, damn.
I have friends because I'm...
Oh, my God. Okay, this actually does make sense as to why the cops are so skeptical of her, because they basically see her as like they just see her as like a bad woman, a harlot. You know what I mean? Like that's probably part of the reason why they were like, yeah, okay.
Oh no.
A Jezebel.
No, not that kind of friend. When people like you, No, do you think that's normal for married people to?
In the world nowadays, in general, I think more people our age. I wish I could marry somebody like my dad. He's great to my mother. There's nobody else ever that could turn his eyes from her. He's the perfect husband.
Okay.
God knows I didn't marry one. He cheated on me.
Shit.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's a double.
I think
That's
every once in a while to hear
That's a throw right there.
Yeah,
That's a
she's
throw.
giving
You just
a
gave the
reason.
motive. She literally went from being in, like, the cops are suspecting that she is, you know, indecent and perhaps a harlot, if I do say so myself, maybe a Jezebel. And then she fucking turned around and was like, no, actually, my husband is cheating on me. He sucks. I hate him. Of course, not enough to murder, but like I do hate him. My missing husband that I'm supposed to think is currently not dead. Yeah, that's a big throw. Big throw.
Hear that I'm beautiful and to hear that I am an attractive person and that I am not the most horrible person in the world. It's nice.
This could be an attempt to not only justify her actions in talking to other guys, but it could also be a deliberate attempt to portray her husband in a negative light.
Also, cops will 100%, even the most hog-like cops are going to use this as an opportunity, as we both know, as we all know, as you know, investigation specialists here, to be like, oh, maybe it was self-defense, because when they catch her in a when they try to when they try to lead her towards the self-defense argument, it ultimately will turn into conflicting testimony, in which case it's over. It's a wrap.
She's hinting toward verbal abuse by claiming that he would tell her how horrible she is. This seems especially unusual given the fact that her husband is still missing. Most people would avoid speaking ill of a loved one who's missing or recently deceased. She may be setting up a possible defense if it's later proven that she was involved in his disappearance.
Did Ernie ever look at your phone?
Yes, all the time.
Did he see those messages where you've been talking to them guys?
Yeah.
What'd he say?
Nothing. He didn't particularly like it, but after what he put me through, he told me as long as I didn't bring anything home or do anything at the house, then he didn't want to hear about it. He didn't want to know about it. And I told him, I'm not cheating on you. Yeah, these guys tell me I'm beautiful and they tell me that I'm, you know, and I go out to my mom's house and I go to the bar and I go dancing.
Earlier, Samantha claimed that she didn't go out much and was just a stay-at-home mom. Now that detectives are questioning her about the guy she was talking to, she suddenly changes her story. She may have given the first statement because it supported the narrative she was trying to weave, about how she was a homebody who didn't know anyone who could be involved in her husband's disappearance. However, now that detectives have evidence of her text with other guys, she needs to support this new narrative.
And yeah, I may have a little too much to drink and someone says, hey, can I have your number? And I may give it to them.
Oh my God.
Samantha seems preoccupied with others.
That's insane, dude.
I
What
can't
the
believe
fuck?
she has 5 children.
Like, yeah. Well,
Acts
that
like
just means she
this.
likes to fuck, right? That's
Get a divorce. What
And
is
she-
this? What kind
and
of
she
relationship?
absolutely hates using protection. We know 2 things. Samantha Wolford loves to fuck, number 1, and she hates condoms, okay? No one discussed in these videos have been formally diagnosed by EWU, and our psychological analysis is based on the general behaviors and traits of the people discussed.
Recognizing her as beautiful, given her repeated use of the word to describe herself. This could be a possible indication of her having narcissistic traits.
Anyway, sorry, like this little button came up on the corner of my screen and I pushed it and now my lighting is different and it's making my face look all splotchy and I don't know that I like it. I'm a little vain, I guess.
A narcissist requires excessive...
Yeah, I mean, she's a YouTuber. Yeah, like, unlike Twitch streamers, everybody knows this is how YouTubers are, okay? Like, just kidding. Not you.
I mean, technically, you're a YouTuber too.
I don't know what you're talking about. I am not
So
a YouTuber.
vain.
I'm a Twitch streamer, which is so much worse, to be honest.
True.
Of admiration. She may have felt like she didn't get the recognition from her husband that she felt entitled to. So she sought out that attention from other men.
The channel goes
I
wild with
mean,
the
in your
overreaching
statement-
law. I mean, yeah, they do, like, that one is a bit of a stretch, like, or it's like an obvious thing that I wouldn't take to the level of like, oh, this is definitely like a narcissist. Or if she is, I feel like that clip of her being like, oh, you know, I clicked on the corner of a button and or I clicked on a button and now my face is splotchy, whatever the fuck she said. Like, that's not enough to definitely prove that she is nice gold plaque behind you. Fuck. That's I stole that from someone else. It's not mine.
You might want to just go ahead and write in there after you talk about what happened to that. You might just want to talk about and put in there that you have been friends with, because who's to say one of these guys didn't set it up to try to get you where you're single and I can come in and get you and just use that as a ploy.
See, and that's what I'm saying. I may know something without even realizing I know something.
The detective is laying groundwork for the theme development stage of the Reed technique by suggesting that one of the men who was interested in her had something to do with her husband's disappearance. If she can admit to this possibility, it will be easier for her to later admit to having knowledge of it, and then eventually to her confessing that she was actively involved. When the sheriff mentions that perhaps one of her male acquaintances set this up to make her single, she grasps at this idea as another motive. She may be realizing her story and acting aren't going over as well as she'd imagined. Once again, she's the victim. It seems she'll do anything to deflect attention from herself.
In October, things blew up. He laid his hands on me.
Oh, dude, the detective's gonna cook her on this. I'm telling you, detectives love this shit. New lore unlocked immediately. He's gonna be like, oh yeah, well, if he's a detective worth his salt, he will immediately turn around and be like, you know, you could be a victim in this circumstance. I mean, that's something that we're willing to work out. Seems like you were victimized quite a bit by this big bad man. You know what I mean? Boom. Immediately lead her down the self-defense angle to trap her, because all of a sudden, now you got conflicting testimony. Boom, blammo, it's over. She's toasted.
I put criminal trespass on him, not on his sister, because she was acting crazy and harassing me. My friend David Smith had talked to me earlier, said he might come by later that night. I told him it was probably not the best idea. What, Ernie gonna be there?
Who's this David Smith?
He called in and reported that he was there. Then when he realized that I intended on giving him the chance to be the better person he says he's going to be, and to go through the criminal trespass or the anger management courses and go through and do what he says he's going to do, and I'm going to give him that chance out of home on his own without having a judge to force him to do it.
So Ernie's got a lot of anger issues?
Yes,
is he jealous?
severe. Yes.
Is he very jealous of you?
This is different than what she said earlier about how Ernie told her she could do whatever with whomever, as long as it wasn't at their house. Samantha appears to...
You know what he's called? We're in a polycule, officer. Mr. Detective, sir. Yeah, that's right. I like to put on a fursuit sometimes. Get wild with it. You didn't see it in the house, but I got one of them fursuits. You know. Called a polycule. Call up our boy. His name is Sneeko. He does YouTube as well. Just sits there and watches. Okay, sorry. Let's continue.
Enjoy being in the role of the damsel in distress and having David Smith and these other men come and save her from her allegedly abusive husband. This is another example of Samantha's need for attention, which is common among individuals with narcissistic personality disorder.
Yes. David Smith hit him up because me and him had been hanging out. I hadn't intended on ever hearing from Dagon again, Ernie. I had never intended on speaking to him again. He cheated on me and he laid his hands on me. I was done. Well, his sister talked his way back in, and he said he loves you, blah, blah, blah. He wants to be with you. Well, I was on a Skype conversation with him, and David was at the house, and he heard it.
What did he do?
Damn, he's risen on Skype. That's crazy. That's a different level of horniness right there. When you're getting rizzed up on Skype, dude, really? It's like one step removed from getting rizzed up on Zoom calls, dude. What the fuck? Yeah, that's right. We're on Skype conversations, you know. I mean, it is. Oh yeah, this is right. It is 2015. Still, Skype is weird to rizz up on.
He got freaking furious and started freaking out on me and treating me like crap and threatening me. David, this guy that was a friend and only a friend, wanted to be with me. And when he realized that I had intended on going back to my husband, he freaked out.
I need to find out where David lives. If you say he lives close to you, I need to find out where he lives at.
Uh-oh. David's going to jail, brother.
Hey, there is one other way that we can make absolutely sure and clear you. We can give you a polygraph test.
What?
Would you mind me speaking to my...
First of all, a polygraph test? Dude, Texas is so barbaric. I swear to God. Like, that shit is so dumb. I can't believe cops still use that. It's insane, okay? It's insane. Those things are such fucking bullshit. They're completely inadmissible in court for obvious fucking reasons. It's just ridiculous.
Hasan,
What's up?
the stream stopped working in Discord.
Wait, it did?
Mm-hmm.
No, I just paused it.
Oh, well, it has a loading thing for me and an exclamation point.
Here, I'll turn it off and then on again. Do it one more time. Here you go.
The polygraph can also pressure people to confess to something.
Look at you. You got cop brain.
Yeah.
Polygraph is using a vibe check for evidence. Yeah, I mean, it's no different.
My mother before I completely agreed to that.
Well, but now if you have nothing to hide, why would you want to talk to your mama?
Because it's nothing against you personally, but just cops in general. You hear such negative things and how they are not out to help you, and CPS is the same way. And I just kind of want to get my mom and dad's opinion on if it's in my best interest.
You know what?
How about instead of your mom and dad, you get a legal opinion? You know what I mean? Like, you do have the right, and you should. She's like, let me ask my mom. The fuck do you mean? Like, literally call a lawyer instead. Anyway, let's just...
You know what I think? I think it's not going to be long. I think they're locking your butt up, what I think. I think you've been lying to me this whole thing. You did get them right.
Wow, dadgum. He's a dadgum guy, and he said he's a dadgum guy, and he said, but you know he's pissed.
He's
You
ulting.
know- What?
He's ulting.
No, he got mad. Yeah, we're gonna be locking your dadgum butt up.
And I think you're a liar, what I think. I think you know exactly who did this. Now,
He's
mind the
freaking
freaking
out.
story for a minute. That's what I think.
Your freaking
So I tell
story.
you what, let's do. Let's just get on with it.
It seems that the interrogator's anger is an intended tactic here.
No, it's
it evokes
not.
the desired reaction from
No, it's not. That is not an intended tactic. He got pissed. He got pissed that she's not collaborating, and he just popped off. A person who says dadgummit is never going to use the B word, okay? But unless they're like legitimately upset. There's no fucking shot.
I think it's a tactic.
No, she pulled the ACAB and he got mad. He's like, there's nothing cops hate more than being told that they're not doing a good job. That's it. They immediately, they just like fall back into, they like lose their minds immediately. I think if anything, her tactic of pissing him off worked better.
He said butt and freaking. I feel like it's a tactic. If you
No, I think for a cop, I think for a cop that says dadgummit, for them to say butt and freaking means that they're pissed off. I've had it up to here with this, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Levels of white anger ranked. Son of a gun. All right, bucko. You just hold your horses. Well, now just wait a minute. Newsflash, pal, and then listen here, buddy.
Not to listen here, buddy.
Yeah, when you pull out the listen here, buddy, you know, dadgummit, things are about to go south.
No.
Okay? And I don't mean like that rat's ass Sherman, okay? Things are about to go south in a not a good way. Okay, all right, let's continue. Sorry for derailing.
Samantha, but it can also be a setback to the overall interrogation's progress. Any trust created is now gone. This is a change-up used only when there is overwhelming evidence against the suspect. Hearing this, Samantha may be experiencing the freeze response here. Her body is completely still, with her mouth hanging open. When someone
Unpause
senses
her.
danger, such as Samantha realizing here that police don't buy her story one bit, they may cease all movement. This is an instinctual response to danger. Movement invites attention, so freezing may make someone momentarily feel like they can lower the spotlight on them.
That's why I say I've tried to really be honest with you.
And that's why
and
I'm
I
coming
feel
up
that
with
you have done
more
nothing
now and
but sit
trying to
here this
help.
whole time. If I'm gonna tell you right now, DPS is dang good at them. If you ain't got nothing to hide, and what bothers me is you even hesitate to take that, knowing it would positively clear you or to positively show that you're hiding something. But what's going to make you guilty is when we prove that you lied to us in here.
The sheriff indicates that lying will essentially make her guilty. This is somewhat misleading. Though, as stated previously, the police are legally allowed to mislead suspects so long as they do not coerce them into a confession.
That part is so fucked up. Like, God. I mean, which, by the way, that's fucked up. But as far as we understand, it's even worse in Canada, which is surprising. A lot of other countries have literally worse rules on interrogation than even in the United States of America. So,
Really?
yeah.
Like what?
I think in Canada, they don't even need to tell you that you can get a lawyer. Like, they're just straight up also allowed to lie, but also they don't even tell you need to get a lawyer or you can get a lawyer. There's no Miranda rights. So you just, they can like legally lie to you and they don't have to tell you.
Wow.
Yeah. That's not even true anymore since cops can no longer be sued. Oh, the U.S. Supreme Court's Miranda decision further guts the 150-year-old civil rights law. Yeah, they also took away a piece of that too, right? Yeah, the June 23rd decision bars lawsuits against police for using evidence obtained without advising people of their rights. The Miranda warnings the court mandated nearly 60 years ago are basically gone. It's still admissible. So I guess it doesn't matter in America either, no longer.
Nevertheless, the inconsistencies between Samantha's statements and the evidence could be used to suggest that she is aware of her own guilt and is using lies to cover it up. Therefore, the investigator is trying to establish knowledge of guilt, or more commonly referred to as consciousness of guilt. This is most often established by circumstantial evidence related to the suspect's actions or inactions after a crime.
If that is the case, then I do know who did it and why they did it.
Okay.
Doesn't that make me like an accomplice?
Nope, you sure don't. No, that makes you a scared mother with children.
Interestingly, Samantha asked the sheriff about being an accomplice. The law usually treats accomplices just as it would principals.
I recommend you do your research for claiming Canada does do that. Oh, maybe it's not the Miranda rights, but instead that they don't have to stop the investigation, or they don't have to stop the interrogation when you do request a lawyer. What is it? Which one is it? It's one or the other. But I know for a fact that in Canada, even if you ask for a lawyer, they can just continue. They can continue interrogating you. Like, they don't stop. They can just keep questioning you.
So if you request a lawyer and they keep questioning you and you don't, without your lawyer?
No, they can't. Not true. They read a charter and caution here. They have to read a charter and caution. No, they can't. Okay, let's take a look. I've literally seen this happen. So
should I come back in 30 or?
No. It's okay. After you speak to a lawyer, the police may continue to ask you questions. Even if you say you do not want to answer, they can continue to ask. However, you have the right to remain silent, and you do not have to answer. Unlawful interrogations. No. It's United States. Wait. Yeah, look. The right to counsel. It's time for Canada to allow lawyers into the interrogation room. This is in 2021. Many Canadians are likely familiar with Miranda rights from watching American movies. A police officer detains a suspect and immediately says you have a right to remain silent, blah, blah, blah. Canadians might be surprised, however, to hear that one of these rights, the right to have a lawyer present during a police interview, currently does not exist on this side of the border. Yeah. In Canada, you have a right to consult a lawyer, and just like in the U.S., you do not have a right to consult with a specific lawyer of a defendant's choice in either of the countries. The main difference here is that you have a right to have a lawyer present during questioning and interrogation in the United States, but not in Canada. You also have a right to halt questioning for a second consultation with a lawyer in the United States, not in Canada. You have a right to consult with a lawyer a second time in the United States, but not in Canada. And you have a right to in-person consultation with a lawyer in the United States, but not in Canada. Yeah. This is also important. This is important to understand because these can critically change the outcome of an investigation. So you're not forced to answer and they have to read that charter and caution is all I'm saying? No, you didn't just say that. You also said that I was wrong on the other lawyer thing. Okay, Luke the Llama, Mr. Defender of Canada. Have fun with your healthcare getting eviscerated and privatized, by the way. Sorry. Yeah.
What? You're already right. Relax.
It doesn't matter.
Relax.
Oh, sorry. Also, the queen owns you. I mean, she's dead, so the king owns you now.
Oh my God, he's tripling down.
Yeah, Commonwealth ass. I'm just kidding.
The damage has been done.
No, I'm just messing around. I'm sure the chatter knows I'm kidding. I love Canada. All right, let's keep going.
Meaning that accomplices can face exactly the same legal penalties. Most states hold a person criminally liable if they aid or abet another in the commission of a crime. The classic example of this is a getaway driver for a bank robbery. Importantly, this is a distinct concept from conspiracy. A conspiracy is when two or more people make an agreement to commit a crime, and at least one individual within the group takes some overt act towards committing the crime. In such a case, all conspirators are criminally liable for the conspiracy.
The only other thing I know, and I don't even know, I know,
Okay.
but it's a suspicion.
Okay.
I've been up in the hospital with my friend Charlotte,
Okay.
and she's got a guy there, and I swear to God, I cannot go up there that I said any of this.
Okay.
Because they have a lot of friends around here, and my life will be in a lot of danger.
Okay.
But the only other thing I know is that
She altered her. What you fail to recognize is that this white lady had already ulted multiple times throughout this process. And everyone knows with each ult, you end up getting the ultimate buff nerfed time and time again. By the third ult, you have approximately 75% less damage.
talking to her about problems like I just told you. I have a problem with talking to my friends about our problems.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have many of them. So when I do get with one of my
He does
friends,
not.
I'll talk about
Okay.
He does not give a
He's
fuck.
He's
It
rapping.
hasn't been many.
Okay.
We have
Like,
had
sure,
problems
lady.
that I hadn't seen
All
Charlotte
right,
in a long
okay.
time.
Okay. Come on with it.
And she's got this guy in the room with her, and he's
That's fucked
talking
up.
about how a man shouldn't treat a woman that way and how you don't do those things to a person.
Okay.
And he's going to deal with the situation. I
Okay.
didn't take him seriously.
Okay. You see, Sam, you know who did this, but that does not make
But I
you
don't
guilty. I'm
have any
still.
proof that he did. I just have what he said.
Okay. Who is this guy?
His name's John.
John who?
His Facebook is Rebel. John Rebel. It's John.
Damn, that man's at Titus County. That man's at Titus County 7 right there. Hard 7. Dude, John Rebel? That's a sick fucking name.
I don't truly know his last name, but his Facebook says John Rebel.
At this point, it seems Samantha's crying could be attributed to the fact that her story isn't yielding the results she'd hoped for, rather than because Dagan is missing. This behavior is consistent with her narcissistic tendencies. At this time, Samantha first mentions an acquaintance known as John Rebel. Herein begins a turning point in this complex story, as a new persona begins to evolve.
He's got a brother named Greg. He's got a really bad history as far as...
Who's Greg?
I was told he's an informant.
What?
I don't know Greg's last name
Where
either.
does John live?
I don't know. I know that he's been staying with Charlotte.
So if he did this, who do you think he'd bring with him?
Me.
I don't know any of his friends. But yesterday at the hospital, he had a guy that I do know from town with him. His name is Tay.
So many dudes.
Tay Rhymes.
Samantha is beginning to let all of the cats out of the bag. In just a few short minutes, she's implicated John Rebel, who will soon be identified as John Sanford, and Tay, whom investigators will learn is a man by the name of Octavius Rhymes. The pace of the investigation is beginning to accelerate and will continue to pick up speed as the disturbing details begin to surface.
Did they do something to let you know that there was them inside that house?
Not 1,000% particular, but I'm pretty sure it was him. The height and the weight and the way he was talking, all gangster.
You pull yourself together and get to writing, and we need to arrest these folks and keep them off the street where they can't hurt you and your children.
There was a third person with them.
Okay, who do you think it was?
He's got people that stayed with him.
Who, John Rebel?
When they were in the hospital together. Before this happened in my house,
Yes.
Tay was with him. There was another guy, I don't know his name.
He's
But he pretty much fits the middle of the third guy.
There was three people?
Yes, at the house there was 3 people. And at the hospital yesterday, you can look at the cameras, there was 3 people.
So they have them on the video camera there at the
At
hospital?
the hospital, yes.
Okay.
There was Tay and that guy and this third party. The one that I said was basically like the ringleader that was bossing everybody around. The other 2 really didn't talk much other than a word here and there. But it was the big guy, the third party that was at the hospital.
She claims not to have known the third man at the hospital, but she's prepared to shift all of the blame in his direction.
The only thing I know about the heavy-set dude is they called him JoJo, but they told me that wasn't his name. I believe they said it was Jose.
Samantha reveals quite a bit about this third person. Samantha gives a detailed story about where JoJo lives and knows that everybody calls him JoJo, despite saying just moments ago that she just met these individuals. Also, another significant item to note. Do you recall when the corporal at the scene learned of a ping on Dagan's phone from dispatch?
0.86 miles from a residence in
Pittsburgh?
He asked Samantha if she knew anyone in Pittsburgh, and she had no reply. Well, it turns out she did. Tay and JoJo were both residing in Pittsburgh.
Yada yada does
She
it.
heads out for a smoke break as members of the sheriff's office prepare to head to the local hospital, determined to intercept.
Damn, they gave her a smoke break for all the leaks, dude. Yada yada does it mentioned.
A good thing.
I love the new IAA. It's so funny, chat. So stupid.
2 suspects that have been frequenting Charla's room for
All right, Ray,
days.
you keep him occupied.
Both
I gotta
John
pee real
and
quick.
JoJo were apprehended at the hospital at 9:39 a.m. As you'll see, each interrogation will be damning, to say the least. The clock now reads 10:10 a.m. The other party that was picked up at the hospital by the sheriff's office, a man by the name of John Sanford, a.k.a. John Rebel, is seated in the interrogation room. He's dressed in black pants and a black long-sleeve shirt. The clothes match Samantha's description of the assailant's dress provided to law enforcement. Clearly, John is quite comfortable here. He may be thinking that if he engages with law enforcement, they'll believe him or go easy on him.
John, you know what this is about, buddy. You know exactly what it is. You know what happened over at Samantha's house last night. That's what we want to talk to you about, okay? I'm on Randize. You know you're right. You don't have to talk to me if you don't want to, and that's fine. I hope you decide to, because
I
think
wish
there's
he
some
would have
things you
paused the
probably need to
video.
tell
I
me.
feel like I
Your side
can't
of the
talk
story.
over it.
He see if it's gonna match Samantha's, because Samantha, I'll be honest with you, she's pointing the finger at JoJo. She said you was with him. Now, do you want to talk to me just a little bit about this?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me tell you what they're saying first, because I think you'll be honest, because
Chat, we can April Fool's prank him.
I better
Everyone
do.
be quiet.
he's
Let's pretend.
dead. But now, according to Samantha, you was just a bystander. Why, JoJo beat the living crap out of him up there in his room where all the blood collecting evidence.
Anytime there are multiple suspects involved in a crime, police will want to separate them as soon as possible so they don't have a chance to get their stories aligned. Police may often plant the seed of doubt that the others are implicating them, leaving each suspect with the decision dilemma of whether to confess or remain silent. The detective is also utilizing a read technique here of placing blame on an outside source rather than on the suspect himself. This will make it easier for John to admit his involvement, because the detective is building the theme that John was just a bystander and not the main perpetrator. Additionally, in this situation, it's likely that there are no real bystanders from a legal standpoint. Under a theory of accomplice liability, if the prosecution can prove that John aided or abetted the murder of Dagan, John would be in the same legal jeopardy as the person who pulled the trigger.
Okay, this all started yesterday. Like you said, yeah, we talked to her about her problem with her husband and all that. Never did I plot to kill the guy. I have a problem with males hitting
Oh
females.
no.
And I do too.
She did say that
Hasan?
there's been times
What's
it's
up?
crossed her mind.
Everyone's gone. Oh no.
What do you mean?
Chat's dead.
Did you tell him the spam?
Okay, first of all,
Dot,
why
dot,
did you
dots.
keep the video playing? I can't talk to chat when the video's playing, and I didn't even pay attention. Ever since you got up, I didn't listen to a single thing the video's playing, because I was trying to think, I was like, how am I supposed to talk to chat if the video's just playing? And then I was thinking he's probably gonna rewind this because he's not listening either. And then chat died.
Did you get them to spam it? Or that's what I thought you were going to do. I thought you were trying to pull a trick on me.
Yeah, did it?
I know how Jezebels are.
Are you calling me a harlot?
I know how women do tricks.
April Fools.
Tricksters. That was a good one.
I told them to hide.
Yeah, well, I assumed, which is why I wasn't, saying anything. But yeah, you guys got me good. Trickery is sinful, though. Never again. None of this tomfoolery. Cease with this tomfoolery.
We got him.
All right, let's continue.
Trying to do stupid shit, this and that.
Like what?
Like, basically, like, get somebody to them off. Like, not kill them, but, like, just beat the out of them, set them up, shit like that, right? And I told her, I said, well, damn. I said, you're talking to somebody that could do that, but I wasn't going to, though.
John now begins his account of the previous night, beginning with a quick stop at Samantha's house.
JoJo had the keys. He was passenger seat.
In front.
Yeah, passenger.
Who was driving?
I drove because
Okay. Who was with you?
it was me, JoJo, and
What's
the
he doing
dude
with his
back
hands?
then
Why'd he
I've never seen
stand
a day
up?
in my life. Except for,
I
I
think
do
he's
know,
describing something.
all I know is he was related to Tay.
Yeah, because I think I know who he is.
John indicates that someone related to Tay was in the back seat, and that Tay wasn't.
I feel like this is a man who's definitely has a lot of experience being handcuffed and knows that like he has to move it around a little bit to get some circulation going, or he's just Italian and has to use his hands, one or the other. Or maybe both. I don't know. But I've actually never seen somebody who's handcuffed get up so casually, okay, and just like try to use his hands while describing a story as though he's not handcuffed. His last name is Rebel. He can't be contained. True.
With the three of them in the car.
Okay, let me rephrase that. I have seen them because I have been running around Pittsburgh, but unless they live on Cypress Street, I don't know who they are.
Okay, I got you. Okay, well, go ahead. Y'all all three together.
So
You was driving, but you didn't have the keys.
didn't have the keys, and I really didn't have a choice because I
Is
like
his
my life.
arm in
John
the
seems
back?
to be trying to suggest that it was actually JoJo who was directing the scheme, and now seems to be implying that JoJo threatened him into driving. Notably, duress can be a defense to some crimes. However, it's typically...
What was your question, Ray?
I can't tell if he's handcuffed from the back or from the front.
He's.
Is it in the back?
I think it's from the back.
not a defense to the crime of murder. John gives his rendition of what occurred at the Ibera home.
They
How's
go
he doing
in,
that?
I'm the only person that knows the layout to the house. So JoJo.
I mean, it's insane how much movement he's got in his hands. It is wild. Like, he's just like talking with his hands while he's handcuffed. This is a man who's definitely been handcuffed before. Okay, like a lot. It is very weird.
Like, he's got to show the other hand too, so it's just
No, he's like, you can't contain me. I'm a rebel. Very Italian, yeah, basically.
He's like, where they sleep at? And I just walked up.
Look at him.
Stopped and told him, man, look, upstairs. They ain't go up. I have to go up in the middle. It was JoJo, me, and then the last dude.
What? Like, look at him. Look at what he's doing.
He's tipping over.
He doesn't have to use his hands while he's describing this.
He has to. He has to.
No, no, words are enough to say when we
Not
go
for this
up. You don't
man.
have to. Everybody knows what up is. It's universal.
No,
he doesn't have to like point up.
He's tipping over. He's got to explain his side.
I can't get over this. This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
If he falls out of his chair, I'm gonna lose it.
And that's when all hell beat the living hell out the dude. Honestly, me personally, I do not believe Samantha really had a hand to play in it. I think that what she was saying
No,
just
not the
kind of
table grab.
too far.
Okay, so what happened? Who beat the hell out of him?
JoJo and the other guy.
John is awkwardly using his hands as he talks, despite being handcuffed. People may increase their use of illustrators to make their lies sound more believable or give off the impression that their story is true. Jose.
That's a terrible way to no. There's so much more to the story than that. You can infer so much more about Johnny, what kind of experience he has being in handcuffs, and the fact that he's definitely Italian. Okay? And all Italians are guilty. It's wild. Like, they had to address it, but not even saying that.
JoJo Ponce is in the hot seat. Needless to say, things aren't looking good for JoJo, who's now dressed in orange prison attire.
Hey, Jonathan is.
Wait, I don't get it. JoJo's already gone to jail? Like, what the fuck's happening here?
That's just his fit.
The Mexican guy, cuff him just in case. Arrest him before we even question him, honestly.
No.
They're like, it's probably his fault.
That's awful.
I mean, what the hell? Why is he already in a jumpsuit?
It must just be an orange shirt.
No.
Really he's putting this whole thing off on you. And
Oh, never mind.
No, he's like, no, he is like, you thought that was just casually his garb?
I thought maybe, okay, well, the door was open. I didn't see the rest of the fit.
I do not understand why JoJo, an hour in, is already in prison. Like, what's happening? How did they just arrest him?
Maybe he tried running the police.
I don't.
You said something about like maybe you had a bad dope deal that went bad. I don't even know.
Matter of fact, I specifically told them when she told me who her husband was, right there in Octavius' house. When she told me his name, I told her. I don't even know who they are. I don't even know him.
JoJo said, well, what do you
No,
think
not
you can
this
do?
guy.
You think you can come up with 20 grand in 5 minutes?
John mentions that JoJo demands Dagan produce $20,000 within 5 minutes if he wants to fix things. This is almost exactly what Samantha told the police. This could be because it's true. However, if you watch Samantha's interrogation footage, it's clear that she's trying to paint the incident as drug-related.
Cause this. Asking for compensation, $20,000.
And this may simply be a story that the group concocted to tell the police.
JoJo tells me, all right, stay here and watch him. Dude's out cold. I'm talking about folded up, basically like literally like this.
Oh my God, he's animated. This dude cannot stay in one fucking spot to save his life. That's crazy. He got on his knees. Like, what the fuck?
Outside the house, they had him up against the truck, hands still behind the back, had his face down like this.
What part of the truck?
The hood of the truck.
Okay, that makes sense. That's where, okay.
The investigator catches himself here just before he almost lets out a piece of evidence. Retaining key evidence is a way to corroborate testimony and also to tie physical evidence to one or more suspects.
They went through the truck. And at this point is when I start thinking, damn, what the really going on? Because they put the dude in the back seat. So we go. We leave. As we're going, they tell me, I go here, whoa, I'm driving. We go all the way out to the country. Get out to the country. Next thing I know, they walk off.
What's he doing?
Go start the vehicle. Go start the vehicle.
He's flexible. He's flexing.
I'm like,
Oh, that was so gross to
so I
watch.
start running back to the vehicle, and in my mind process, this is my neck of the woods now.
Stop!
You know where you're at?
Sorry.
Yeah, this is my neck of the
Because we're fixing to go out there, me and you. We're going back out there. Because everything you're saying so far is matching 100%.
Before I make the vehicle, all I hear is pop.
Who's got the gun?
JoJo does.
No.
I feel like I can't believe I'm saying this. Sorry for speculating here, but it seems to me like this man is on meth, okay? I'm just going to point that out. I've never seen somebody both so comfortable in handcuffs while also simultaneously fidgeting so fucking much.
Is that a meth thing to do?
Yes.
Fidget?
It's just like he is literally, it is crazy to see someone just tweaking this fucking hard. I mean, he's tweaking harder than XQC. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, we don't know. Let's see what happens. Well, obviously, not all of us are going to see what happens because at the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. And those who are not subscribed will not see what happens.
It's not a good one.
Okay? Oh, come on. Don't say that. Everyone's going to give me a lower score. Well, if you no longer want to see those ads, you want to see what happens, all you need to do is subscribe for $5 or free with the Twitch Prime or by getting gifted a sub. It's just a 3-minute ad break now. Stolen labor, typical streamer, Sag. I had the meth diagnosis from the start. Yeah, it's our diagnosis now.
Note that John is named JoJo as the trigger man. As you'll see, there won't be a consensus when it comes to this brutal aspect of the crimes.
Hey, listen, man, everybody's done point the finger at you as being the one that pulled the trigger.
That's what I'm saying, dude, and I didn't.
Who pulled the trigger then?
Jonathan.
Despite claiming that John pulled the trigger, there are still at least 2 ways in which JoJo could still be criminally liable for the murder. First, under a theory of accomplice liability, if the prosecution can prove that JoJo aided or abetted or had the requisite intent for John's murder.
Are you happy? I got a 4.18 out of 10 on the rating. You did that.
Yeah, I did
Area Era Nia, thank you for the 5 get the subs. Jay Hopper, thank you for the 5 get the subs. You did that 100%, 100p.
It was me. I did it.
Murder of Dagan. Second, if the prosecution can prove that JoJo had entered into an agreement with Samantha or John to carry out the murder, he could be charged with conspiracy to commit murder. The sheriff seems satisfied that he's gathered all pertinent information from John. He leads John out of the room. The next task is the somber duty of locating and recovering Dagan's body. Sheriff Tim Ingram and investigator Aaron Baxter, along with their helpful suspect, John Sanford, depart the sheriff's office as Chief Deputy John Livingston follows closely behind in Aaron's vehicle. Aaron wears a body camera to document the events that are about to transpire. Be forewarned, things are about to take a drastic turn for the worst as members of the Titus County Sheriff's Office begin to uncover the true horrors that occurred earlier that very morning.
Well, you think of Cuz with the band after all this? You think he's holding bad?
I honestly don't know.
Who will know who Cuz is other than in case the Crips talk to me? Who's going to know this guy's going to get him quick before he tries to do anything?
Almost anybody in Pittsburgh that really.
So is that his name? Is that what everybody calls him, Cuz?
The sheriff asks John, who will be able to identify the mysterious third party, known to us only as Cuz. We'll soon learn his true identity.
Yeah,
Is there a body here?
There's a body.
Yeah.
I'm hiding it. I'm hiding the screen.
No, they wouldn't show the body.
Oh,
It's
they
blurry,
don't show the
blurry.
body. It's
Definitely
blurred.
did.
Good assessment, officer.
Okay. What we need
He's
to do now?
dead.
Oh yeah, he's dead. He's not gonna be alive.
Oh.
What we need to do now is 2 of us need to break off and take him and use the recorder and let's go get that gun.
Sadly, Dagan's body is located at 11:28 a.m. Aaron places a call to the Camp County Sheriff
They
to
didn't even
alert him
hide
of
the body.
murder
They
within
didn't
his
even
jurisdiction.
cover him up.
Meanwhile, back at the Titus County Sheriff's Office, an anxious and fidgety Samantha has returned to the interrogation room. The clock now reads 11:45 a.m. It seems Samantha hasn't been informed that Dagan was located, deceased, approximately 17 minutes earlier. While the members of the sheriff's office are locating the potential murder weapon, Samantha occupies herself by writing on the dry erase board in the interrogation room. Just as Samantha leaves the room as the clock reads 11:58 a.m., Aaron's body camera recording resumes. The sheriff, John the suspect, and the 2 investigators, Aaron and John, head to the home where the gun is believed to have been stashed. Note that the woman seated on the front step of the home is Lacona Slayton. Her connection to the case will be revealed to you shortly.
Come up to me. Okay, I'm sorry. Hey,
What?
thank you. I appreciate you, man.
I need
Won't take us but a minute. We'll be done.
They know everything. Like, dude.
Hey, John. Where's that guy?
It's not that they know everything, like, seriously. It's because you told them everything. That man was the greatest witness of all time. If he sees a single moment of jail time, he really fucked up. Because that, like, he was the star witness the entire time. Like, he literally cooked up the entire scheme for him. He should have gotten a fucking sweet plea deal out of that, but he was too busy twerking around and tweaking and giving him everything.
It was out here, but it's apparently not out here.
Who got it?
I don't know. Y'all arrested me.
Why ain't it out here?
I don't know. No, I swear to God, I don't know.
the box, and the box is
I was in a lockbox.
So you already knew the gun was involved.
No, she has no
I didn't
clue.
know about.
She has no clue about nothing.
Oh,
I'm telling you that
no.
now.
So
I haven't. She has no clue about nothing.
here's the deal. All right. We need the gun. You could
Bring
be
it
you could be charged with the same thing.
She was.
I
not
know
here.
what the.
You could be an accomplice to murder, capital murder. That's the death penalty. So if you know where the gun's at,
She knows where the gun's at.
you
She
need
got the
to
box.
you need to go ahead and
No,
tell
Cops
them.
are wild. They're just like
Gosh.
Gun
Cops-
that I just
Cops are hitting the AOE on this. Like, she's like, everyone's getting the death penalty here, ma'am. Like, what the fuck? You will die. I tell you what. What the fuck? It's insane. That's insane to just like, you know what? Where's your dog? Your dog is also getting death penalty. This man back here, death penalty. Do you understand me?
Told you that. Okay, I'm gonna give you one more opportunity.
Dude, you can handcuff me. I
Well,
don't
that's
know
probably fixing to happen. That's probably about to happen because I think you're a liar.
What the fuck? No, what the fuck?
Oh my gosh, this is awful.
Bro, he's like, yeah, I'm arrest everybody, lock them up. Let guys sort it out. We're doing capital punishment for all of them. Dadgummit. You're a dadgum liar. This is crazy.
In box, you've got the dead gun gun.
Where'd the gun go then? I don't know.
So why'd you get the box?
I don't care, man. I didn't do
It's you must be about as low life as that husband of yours.
He ain't husband.
Well, you with him. About the same thing.
Whatever.
The sheriff and Lacona are referring to JoJo here.
Oh yeah, you remember enough to come home and get that box, that gun in it, don't you?
No, I remember to come home and check the box.
But why?
So the
Why
gun's
would you
not in the
just
tent?
check it?
I don't know. Go check the tent. I don't know.
Is it okay if I check the
Yes,
tent?
it is okay.
Okay. And where's it at?
Right behind the house.
Okay.
This other cop, they're doing the good cop, dadgummit cop. Okay? That's what they're doing. It's very effective. The good cop is like, okay, ma'am, can we check the tent, please? The other guy's like, dadgummit, you know where the dadgum gun is. That's so good.
Dramatically heated exchange with Lacona, the sheriff and Aaron head to the tent, which currently serves as Lacona's home, to attempt to locate the gun. A search in this case does not require a warrant. When someone with a controlling interest gives permission to search a premises, including a tent, it's an exception to the warrant requirement. Back at the sheriff's office, Samantha is again writing on the dry erase board. As a couple of written questions are directed at the sheriff's office, she continues to put on a show. These behaviors are once again very childlike and immature.
She's
Oftentimes,
weird.
individuals with personality disorders will display immature behaviors. In high-stress situations in particular, they often regress, and these behaviors become much more evident.
There you go, right there, I bet you. See the dope or the gun? Gun. Well,
Computer had his gun.
Bitch.
Why the hell would I tell you to go look in the tent?
it wasn't in the tent.
Well, I don't know where the...
All we want is the truth.
Man, I'm telling you, all I know is the guy told me that they were suspects in a murder case. The first thing that popped in my head was that gun. It was not in the box where it was always at, and I don't know what the is going on, but I want to know.
Okay, well, just like the other officer told you, we're investigating a murder. All right? There was a guy killed last night. He was executed. He wasn't supposed to have it, was he?
No.
Convicted felon or?
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, you know, that guy's got a family, and they're going to want to know what happened to their son and father. I mean, the guy's got kids, young kids. And so we just we're just trying to gather the facts up and get justice for this guy's family. Is there anything that you can tell me at this point that would help us with our investigation?
Other than that, if I think he would have did something like that, yeah, because he's pulled it on me before.
He's pulled the gun out on you before?
Yeah.
All right.
I know I've prayed, but damn, I didn't think I was gonna split up with him like this.
This important piece of information, which was uncovered due to the officer's catch-all question, may explain why Lacona didn't reveal the gun's location. It's possible that if she did know where it was, she kept the location secret for a much different reason than avoiding trouble herself or protecting someone else. Instead, she may have been fearful of retaliation from JoJo if she talked. We've yet to hear JoJo's side of the story.
Okay, I'm gonna give you one more opportunity.
Dude, you can handcuff me. I
Well,
don't know
that's probably about to happen. That's probably about to happen because I think you're a liar.
What the fuck? No, what the fuck?
Oh my gosh, this is awful.
Bro, he's like, yeah, arrest everybody, lock them up. Let guys sort it out. We're doing capital punishment for all of them. Dadgummit. You're a dadgum liar. This is crazy.
In box, you've got the dead gun.
Where'd the gun go then?
I don't know.
So why'd you get the box?
I don't care, man. I didn't do
It's you must be about as low life as that husband of yours.
He ain't husband.
Well, you with him. About the same thing.
Whatever.
The sheriff and Lacona are referring to JoJo here.
Oh yeah, you remember enough to come home and get that box, that gun in it, don't you?
No, I remember to come home and check the box.
But why?
So the
Why
gun's
would you
not in the
just
tent?
check it?
I don't know. Go check the tent. I don't know.
Is it okay if I check the
Yes,
tent?
it is okay.
Okay. And where's it at?
Right behind the house.
Okay.
This other cop, they're doing the good cop, dadgummit cop. Okay? That's what they're doing. It's very effective. The good cop is like, okay, ma'am, can we check the tent, please? The other guy's like, dadgummit, you know where the dadgum gun is. It's so good.
Dramatically heated exchange with Lacona, the sheriff and Aaron head to the tent, which currently serves as Lacona's home, to attempt to locate the gun. A search in this case does not require a warrant. When someone with a controlling interest gives permission to search a premises, including a tent, it's an exception to the warrant requirement. Back at the sheriff's office, Samantha is again writing on the dry erase board. As a couple of written questions are directed at the sheriff's office, she continues to put on a show. These behaviors are once again very childlike and immature.
She's
Oftentimes,
weird.
individuals with personality disorders will display immature behaviors. In high-stress situations in particular, they often regress, and these behaviors become much more evident.
There you go, right there, I bet you. See the dope or the gun? Gun. Well,
Computer had his gun.
Bitch.
Why the hell would I tell you to go look in the tent?
it wasn't in the tent.
Well, I don't know where the...
All we want is the truth.
Man, I'm telling you, all I know is the guy told me that they were suspects in a murder case. The first thing that popped in my head was that gun. It was not in the box where it was always at, and I don't know what the is going on, but I want to know.
Okay, well, just like the other officer told you, we're investigating a murder. All right? There was a guy killed last night. He was executed. He wasn't supposed to have it, was he?
No.
Convicted felon or?
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, you know, that guy's got a family, and they're going to want to know what happened to their son and father. I mean, the guy's got kids, young kids. And so we just want to, we're just trying to gather the facts up and get justice for this guy's family. Is there anything that you can tell me at this point that would help us with our investigation?
Other than that, if I think he would have did something like that, yeah, because he's pulled it on me before.
He's pulled the gun out on you before?
Yeah.
All right.
I know I've prayed, but damn, I didn't think I was gonna split up with him like this.
This important piece of information, which was uncovered due to the officer's catch-all question, may explain why Lacona didn't reveal the gun's location. It's possible that if she did know where it was, she kept the location secret for a much different reason than avoiding trouble herself or protecting someone else. Instead, she may have been fearful of retaliation from JoJo if she talked. We've yet to hear JoJo's side of the story, but it's going to be hard to dig himself out of the hole that seems to be getting deeper by the minute. The members of the sheriff's office depart with the recovered weapon that was believed to have been used to execute Dagan. Investigator Aaron Baxter sits down with Lacona on February 24th, just 4 days after Dagan was killed. During our last encounter with Lacona, when the handgun was retrieved near the tent that served as her place of residence, she seemed to insinuate that her days with JoJo were numbered. However, she initially referred to JoJo as her fiancé at this meeting. It may be that she had a change of heart and decided against ending the volatile relationship after all. As a result, she may be less forthcoming in her interview than the sheriff's office would have hoped.
You know, the other day when we were over there with the gun, what made you think that that gun was used to you just had a gut feeling?
I just had that feeling. It was a feeling because I don't know, it was just a feeling.
And you said that Jose had pointed at you before?
Yeah, in the past, but he would never, when it comes to other people, he's not mean. He's a coward. When it came to me, it was different. Other folks, he was a coward. He always backed down for fights and stuff. And I just don't understand. I don't see, I just don't understand. What? Why? JoJo didn't even know her. As far as I knew, Jonathan was the only one that knew her. Then I found out Tay's known her, Jonathan's known her. JoJo didn't know her, so why would he even... I don't know.
Lacona seems genuinely confused about the conspiracy and why JoJo would participate, seeing as he hadn't met Samantha until the day before the murder. According to future testimony provided by John, the three men smoked methamphetamine while en route to the Ibarra household.
No. What? No. That's... Oh, hold on now. This is a shocking development. A shocking development, if I do say so myself.
Ain't no way.
Perhaps this claim could explain the violent behavior seemingly uncharacteristic of JoJo.
So why don't you
never found that gun in my tent? I promise you didn't.
Where do you think I found it?
What?
I know exactly where you found it, which is in the spot that Jonathan hit it.
Jonathan put it there? Seriously?
Yes.
JoJo seems to believe that by knowing where it had been hidden, he can somehow pin the murder on John.
Yeah, I don't know if he's still on meth, but that is some fucking... He must be on crack if he thinks that is a good, solid defense right there. Oh, I know you didn't find it in my tent. That's my gun hunting. That's my gun hiding spot. If you found it in the tent, it's me. If you didn't find it in the tent, then, you know, that's John's hiding spot. Everybody knows this. That's right. That's so good. He's...
Jonathan pulls his pistol out and he hits him with it.
Where Jonathan had the pistol at?
In his waistband.
Whose pistol is it?
Jonathan's.
Where'd he get
it? Beats me.
Clearly, JoJo's story is not agreeing with John's version of events. Most significantly, JoJo claims the gun that was allegedly used to murder Dagan belongs to John, though JoJo is unsure where or how John obtained it.
All right, and the gun that we got out from under the house, that's the gun that, I guess it belonged to Jose.
It was mine. It was a gift to me from him. It was mine.
Okay.
Most importantly, perhaps, Lacona confirms that the handgun that was recovered near the tent belongs to her and JoJo, not John.
What I need to do, I've got Samantha's version.
Samantha is the ringleader. I never met her until yesterday.
So you just up there with Charlotte and them, that's when you met.
That's when yes sir, I met Samantha. And I met her 5 kids.
Oh, wow.
We all left. We get to Walmart. We're at Walmart for a little bit. All of a sudden, Octavius Rhymes walks up to me. He said, man, I gotta go. I said, why? He's like, my mom just called me and cussing me out, telling me I better get the damn car home. So I well, let me go find Jonathan real quick. Let me ask Jonathan if he can give us me and my wife a ride home back to your house. When Jonathan took me home that afternoon, though, Octavius was home. Octavius ended up leaving with Jonathan. They left together. Me and my wife stayed home. All of a sudden, around after 7 or 8 at last night, they showed back up. This time, they showed up with Octavius, Jonathan, Samantha, and her kids. Jonathan pulls me to the side. Say, cuz, I need to talk to you. I don't know what's up. He's like, look, oh girl, talking about Samantha. He said, Samantha wants us to, do something. And he wouldn't tell me full details.
Why do none of these peeps have a lawyer? Brother, they're meth heads. Like, what do you mean? You've seen the conditions that they live in. I don't think they're thinking about any of this. Like, it's just, they don't even think that they have rights in this situation. Like, they're not even expected. They're poor. They're poor. They don't even think that the law is on their side in any capacity, regardless of some of them even being white, right? Which, for the record, they're right. The law isn't on their side. Doesn't necessarily always mean stupid. I mean...
Yeah, I think sometimes, too, they might think that they're coming off as more innocent or trustworthy when they don't.
He's already in... I think we're way past the point of no return at this point when you're in the orange jumpsuit.
Samantha should have at least had a lawyer. I think she was trying to appear trustworthy and innocent by not having a lawyer present.
Yeah.
Until we went to the place, all of a sudden, he tells me, he said, look, I just need you to stand guard.
JoJo describes what is called a criminal conspiracy between himself and John to commit the crime of kidnapping. Another important revelation is JoJo's claim that Tay was a willing participant in the conspiracy, despite Samantha's and John's initial reluctance to implicate him. It turns out that old Cuz was actually Tay all along. Let's hear it straight from the source. Meet Octavius Tay Rhymes, whose identity Samantha and John attempted to conceal initially. Tay had requested a meeting with the Titus County Sheriff's Office with the intention of getting a deal in the works. However, Tay was informed that he'd need his lawyer to handle the negotiating with the DA's office. While seated with investigator Wayne Miner, Tay went ahead and pleaded his case.
I should have spoke to y'all without a lawyer, but I admitted to y'all, that I was in the vicinity when they took the dude from his home. But I didn't realize that they were planning on doing. So like I said, I know y'all ran my criminal background history already. I don't have no violent background. I don't have no felonies, or misdemeanors. No, I've never been in no serious trouble like this ever. So I'm trying to work with y'all, but I can't really give y'all no more information if no.
Okay. I don't understand why or how the timeline works on when these guys are getting questioned. But I too have noticed that the only two people that are like immediately in jail here and in the orange jumpsuits are the black guy and the Mexican guy. What's up with that? No, I don't know. I'm not making any assumptions here, but I am simply asking, what the fuck is going on there? Like, why? Like, what happened? Because there's a process when you can't just like, for someone to go from plain clothes to like orange jumpsuit, there's literally a process that took place. And I am very confused how they just like escalated that or how they fast tracked that entire process for these two guys. I'm sure they'll describe it.
Striking a deal is quite common in criminal cases, especially those with multiple defendants. Often the prosecution will offer a more lenient sentence to the accused in exchange for the accused providing information to the police or agreeing to testify against one of the other defendants. However, it's important to note that a criminal defendant cannot make a deal with the police. Only the prosecutors are authorized to make deals with defendants. Therefore, any sort of deal that the police make with Tay wouldn't have any legal effect, unless, of course, such a deal was approved by the prosecutor's office.
I stayed downstairs the entire time.
But she whistled.
That means she was downstairs. Because, like I said, me, Octavius, and
how'd she whistle? Was it like that or?
Yeah, like that. That's what I'm saying. She was downstairs. She had to be.
But you didn't see her?
No.
And so who went back in when she did it? Jonathan did.
And all of a sudden, Jonathan comes back out and says, "Come here, cuz I talk to you." So we walk over here. He's like, her mom just called, say she's that a friend, she's sending a friend over to see her or whatever, something like that. He's like, so she said, we got to go, we need to go now.
JoJo claims that Samantha told them to move quickly. Records indicate that she called her mother to alert her of the attack. Because her mother's home was an hour's drive from Samantha's, she assumed that would give the men ample time to leave the premises with Dagan. What Samantha didn't anticipate was that her mother would send a nearby aunt to her rescue. There's no way JoJo could have known this bit of information if Samantha wasn't in on the ruse.
And so we left.
They arrive at a secluded area that serves as their destination.
Tay's looking at me, I'm looking at him. Jonathan looks back at us. Jonathan pulls it out, he's holding it. All of a sudden, I tell him, man, dude, you're too close, dude. You shouldn't take the man's life, but you're too close to the road. Tay's looking, Tay's like, man, you really are. He said, it's gonna be loud.
This moment is key, as with this statement, JoJo may have just admitted to being an accomplice to Dagan's murder. By admitting to the sheriff that he told John to move further from the road before killing Dagan, prosecutors could argue that JoJo attempted to aid John in his murder of Dagan, leaving JoJo equally culpable for it.
All right, hold on just a second. Drink your Coke, and I'll be right back.
Dumb.
While JoJo waits for the sheriff to return, he's well aware that the camera is still rolling.
I don't understand how the hell are you gonna blame me for shit that he did.
Oh my God, he's the best criminal. Yo, that is awesome. Oh man, it sure be a crime if I went to jail for criminal conduct that others did. It's like, dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. That is excellent. Brownie points for him. He should have a reduced sentence for that one.
Okay.
I went because he asked me for help.
So you know what time they put Samantha home?
To be honest, I believe it was before midnight, but I couldn't really tell you the time. I don't remember the times. I think it was before midnight though, because she was talking about how the kids were getting sleepy and she needed to get to the house. Something about her man was asleep or something and she didn't want him waking up and getting mad at her.
No question about it, Samantha has been caught in a lie. Cell tower records give us the real story. Despite Samantha's attempts to deceive law enforcement, her phone wasn't near her home until approximately 10:30 p.m. on February 19th, just a few hours before the invasion. A major development in the case occurs just 3 days after the murder of Dagan, though it would be a stretch to say it came as a shock. Samantha is arrested and charged with aggravated kidnapping and murder. In the end, the failed conspiracy resulted in lengthy prison terms for all involved. John and JoJo pleaded guilty the following year, in April of 2016. They received 50-year sentences for their roles in Dagan's kidnapping and murder.
John got
In December of 2016, Tay went on trial. It didn't go as he'd hoped, however. He was found guilty of murder and aggravated kidnapping and was sentenced to a total of 93 years. Last but not least came the mastermind behind the whole terribly designed plot.
God damn.
Samantha went on trial for Dagan.
Bro, John got 50 years and he spilled the beans the whole damn time. That's crazy. Okay. Also, why did Tay get 93? I don't know. I don't know what happened there. Is he the one who shot Is that what they decided? He's the one who shot the person? Oh, because the other two got a plea deal, and he didn't take the plea, and he went to trial, so we got 93. Dude, our criminal justice system is so fucking insane.
Murder in September of 2017. Not surprisingly, she was found guilty. She was sentenced to 99 years. In addition, she received another 50 years for the kidnapping to be served consecutively with her murder sentence.
Like, why not just make it 100 years?
It is still unknown who pulled the trigger and killed Dagan.
That's crazy. Remember, no one knows who pulled the trigger, but if you fucking go to trial, they will hammer you. They will literally add, they will tack on so much more on top just to like, that's insane. That's crazy. All right, well, Ray, thank you so much for coming on to react to this criminal crime. Makes up for the times where I watch JCS without doing. Oh!